Okay, hello everyone. If you've just this is pretty much my first stream in a long time, so I might be bubbling a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm just starting to stream, and I'm just gonna be doodling today. It's kind of a test a little bit if I can do it more often. I doodle a lot, pretty much every day. It's kind of like my warm-up sketches um, and I thought I might just as well sometimes do it live. And if anyone actually comes and wants to ask me questions, that's fine. I'll be happy to answer some questions. If not, then I'll be just sitting here doodling quietly, and we'll see how it goes. So I have this idea of drawing a troll under a tree, and we'll see if it works. If I'm sorry if it's gonna be a little boring at the beginning. I'm gonna say hi to anyone who comes. Hello on the chat. I hope that's how I'm gonna see if anyone writes anything. I also shared it on Facebook, so I don't know if I can control both places in the same way. I'll see. All right. Yeah, 2 people watching, so yeah, I'm not alone. All right. So the idea for this doodle sketch is I was thinking of drawing like a little, I don't know, dwarf, a troll, or some kind of a creature, maybe sitting under a tree, chilling. Sort of a cute, sweet kind of a thing that I don't really paint all that often. We'll see if I'll be able to do it knowing people are watching. Let's try that. It's kind of hard drawing when you know someone's watching, even one person. So you kind of get very self-conscious. Ah, hello from San Francisco. Hiya. Lovely to see someone watching. See, this first sketch that I'm doing, it's kind of like I'm not really careful as much about what I'm doing. I'm kind of just really doodling with this blue color. And later on, I'm gonna go and sketch on top with a different color. I usually do that, or usually do it lately because I used to work differently. So he's gonna have some sort of a bushy hair, maybe 2 ears. The funny and good thing about Krita is that I can erase stuff with the exact same brush that I'm working in or with. Gonna put his eyes a little farther aside and maybe add some bushy eyebrows. So Jay says, really wish this program could work on my Cintiq companion, but it doesn't, and I'm no programmer. So okay. So I'm working on a regular Windows PC, and that Krita is absolutely free to download, and I love it. I know that Krita also has other versions paid for, and I'm not sure. I know they're for tablets. Not sure about phones. I have no clue about Cintiqs, but I can tell you that if you go to krita.org, they have like an IRC chat forum kind of place where people who actually develop the program hang out a lot, and they're really cool people, and you can always go and ask them about it if they for some reason have not, thought about doing this, then you can suggest it, and I'm sure they're going to take it into consideration. They're really cool like that. So, and they've helped me a lot in the past if I had problems with things loading or not loading, or general problems with Krita if I didn't know how new things worked, because they really upload new versions quite often, which is really cool as well. So that's what you could do. I'm sure they're gonna help. Okie doke. So he's a chubby guy. Just gonna have his hands on his belly. Sure thing, Jay. You're welcome. I think we're gonna add something cute on his. I'll do a butterfly or something. And a tree. How long have I been using Krita? Says Hugh. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But yeah, well, Krita, let me see. I've been using it for quite a long time. I'd say, I don't know, over 2 years now. I really love the program. And if you're following or if you're subscribing to my channel, you know that I have a couple of videos on Krita. I should probably have more, to be honest, but I do a lot of stuff, and I work in traditional media as well, so I paint a lot and draw a lot, and then create illustrations at the same time. So I don't have that much time to create videos. That's why I'm trying to do this stream to kind of go back to talking about Krita or just doodling for people to see. And yeah, I've been working on it or with it for 2 years. It's been changing a lot. It's getting better and better, if you ask me. And but I've liked it since the beginning, so I highly recommend it. Okay, so we have like kind of a first sketch here. And now I'm gonna try and do, oops, nope. Create an extra layer. This one is gonna be, we're gonna turn down the opacity significantly. And then on top of it, I'm gonna try to draw with a red color, but I'm also gonna do something like this because I like to work quite close, but also have, control over the whole image. And I'm just gonna open up a new view, and we're gonna do it on top. So I sometimes get a little more or less detailed at the very beginning stages. Sometimes it's just a couple of lines. But as I said at the very beginning of the stream, sometimes when people, like when you're aware that someone's watching you, you try more, or you try to explain what you're doing via drawing. a little bit more than you would normally. Things we do when no one needs to understand what we're doing. We just do automatically, I guess. And there, I do not like that. A really cool thing that I really like about Krita, or particularly about how brushes work, is that apart from the fact that I can use a brush and then by hitting E, just turn it into an eraser, I can also tell Krita to, I can check this option that says eraser switch size, which means that I can kind of decide that eraser is big, or like the brush is small in this case, and eraser is a different size. And then when I switch between them, kind of keeps the shape and size that I give it at the beginning. So it's really cool. Because back in the days in the previous versions, I don't think they had it. And it was sometimes a pain, even though it was comfortable, you know, swapping from one thing to the other. It was still sort of, it was missing. Okay, so Jay is asking, the 64-bit 4.0 doesn't work, but for some reason the 32-bit older version does. Do you think that would cause a problem to a 64-bit computer? You know, I'm not an expert, but from what I know, I don't think it will. I mean, as I understand, you can run any kind of program that's below 64 bits on the 64 bit system. So that should not be a problem at all. I wouldn't think so. You can double check with the Krita creators, but I don't think so really. So if it's running, you should probably just stick to it. And I'm just wondering why it wouldn't work if you have a 64 bit operating system. Why it wouldn't, you know, let you run Krita. Maybe it's something else, you know. I seem to remember I had some problems with some I don't remember right now, but I used to have a very old Corel Paint or Corel Painter, and it wouldn't run on my new computer, and it turned out that it was something that I would never have thought would make a difference, and it had nothing to do with the operating system. I don't remember. It was a funny thing. There was a patch to fix it, but oh, so you have a brush lag and it freezes. Um, well, I do know that I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I know that there is an option here in Edit. Edit. Let me see. Somewhere in here, there is an option called Instant Preview Mode. Try checking it, unchecking it. Or I think it used to be in here as well, like a double one. I don't know why it doesn't want to open now. It's acting up. Oops. What's going on, Krita? Doesn't want to open the edit box for some reason. Oh, there you go, but on a different brush. Instant preview is here as well. And that I had a problem with it in one of the versions, and I don't remember which version it was, but I remember that it did create a lag with bigger brushes, or bigger or smaller. I don't remember either one of them because of something that they were trying out. They were trying to help the program work with brushes when it was when you would be using bigger brushes so that you wouldn't have problems or they wouldn't lag. But in the end, it actually caused some lagging problems with smaller brushes. I don't remember exactly what the problem was, but you might want to try and uncheck it. You're asking, sorry, Jay is asking if you can use any other program, Clip Studio, Paint, Storm, Photoshop. Um, I used to work on Photoshop a lot, but it was like I had an older version. I have one of the newer versions, but I don't really use it that often. I really prefer Krita, but it may be before because I don't know. I got used to Krita now, and I just know what my ways around a lot of things, and I don't know. I like the fact that this one is an open source program, and then that people can just download it and have fun with it. And it's not even because it's free, you know. You can always donate, um, so that people who are making the program have money to pay, or I don't know, they have to make a living while they develop the program. So that you can do, but that's not even that. I really like the program. I've had or I've tried different open source programs before, and usually I just found them awful. But this one is not disappointing me, or haven't disappointed me so far. It had little things that I had to learn to work with at the beginning, but the better it gets, the less problems I've got. So well, Photoshop is actually is quite a big company. I have nothing against Photoshop. I think they have a great program. I just think that some people don't have money to do that. I don't know. Maybe students, maybe some people just prefer open source, and I just tried Krita out of curiosity, to be honest. And back then when I tried Krita, I think this was when I had problems with Coral, and I got really annoyed with how they treated older clients at that time, because I was trying to get some help with Coral Draw, Coral Painter not working on my computer, um, and they just told me, we're not supporting this version anymore. We can't help you. Buy a new version. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I still can work on this program. It's a good program, and I can't see why I should buy another one just because you don't want to help me. I found a solution, and all was fine for a while, and then I found Krita, and I just really kind of fell in love with it. I'm just gonna very quickly sketch out on top of those lines. It kind of annoys me that at the moment I'm neither here nor there. So I'm just gonna do this. Hmm. He's gonna be wearing pants. Because why not? He's gonna be a civilized creature. Hugh, how long have you been painting and drawing? I saw your work. You have some awesome work. Thank you, Hugh. I'm not sure where you looked because I have all kinds of work online. I do a lot of digital illustration and I do a lot of traditional painting, as I said. So, well, I have been drawing since I remember, since I was really small, and I started drawing portraits when I was like 7 years old. And so yeah, that's been a while. But you grow as you go, and for example, I started painting with oils only recently, like a 2 years ago, maybe. I don't want to lie. I think it's around 2 years ago, or started again because I tried when I was 16, and I didn't do enough research, and I made some terrible mistakes, got myself a huge headache, and vowed never ever to touch oils ever again. And recently I got encouraged to try again. And this time I knew what I was doing. I got some good advice, and I researched the techniques and materials, and yeah. So yeah, don't give up and keep trying, as they say. Okay, so Jay's asking, have you ever used OpenTunes? No, and honestly, I have no idea what it is. I'm assuming it's something to do with cartoons, and the reason you're asking, because I'm doing a cartoon kind of drawing right now. Um, no, I've no clue what it is. I might have to look into it. All right, so he's starting to look like a proper. I'm not really sure who he is. Is he a faun or I don't know, not a troll. Some kind of a creature though. Okay, we're gonna get the tree shape a little bit. Don't have to have much really from. key. I'll try. Oh, so Jeremy is asking about how I'm working on two screens. You mean like how I can see those two views? Well, basically, you just open a file, and if you want to have a separate other window for the same file, because it's still the same file, you go to Window, New View, and here, I mean, this one is just a new one that I just started. It's called Unnamed at the moment, but normally you would have sometimes a list if you have more than one file opened, and you just click on it, and it opens an extra window of the same file. It's really cool, and I absolutely love it. I remember when I started using Krita, they already had that. Um, they had it in a kind of they didn't have it as conveniently as here, where it's in one window. It would open in a separate window, so I'd have to make this window smaller and kind of divide my screen for two windows. It was a little bit more complex, but I remember that Photoshop did not have that, and I don't really think that Corel had it either. It was really cool. Probably one of the reasons why I also really lean towards this program. Although I think Coral may have had it, but oh no, they didn't. You had to also kind of jump through some hoops to make it look like it, like kind of create a clone of the file, and then I don't know. It was kind of complex. You could do it. It was possible, but it wasn't the most convenient of things. Sorry if I go quiet every now and then. It's just like I kind of go into a trance a little bit, doodling. I like to relax like that. Like if I have a commission that I'm working on, or any kind of deadline, or just some stress or whatever, I like to doodle. I've been doodling since I was a child. And if you asked my teachers, I would doodle during all kinds of lessons. They already knew that I would do that, and they were fine with that, but it's kind of like a therapy, I guess. I like to do that. And unfortunately, I don't listen to music, um, or at the moment, I wouldn't listen to music. I don't know what the rights using, popular music is on YouTube while streaming. Um, but also, to be honest, usually I listen to a lot of audiobooks. It's like good way to read without reading. Oh, well, Jay just wrote, I'm not going to read the whole comment, but he just told me what tunes are, open tunes are. So it's the software used by Studio Ghibli and Futurama. And, that's interesting. Easy to use. I'll be interested to actually try it. Now that you mentioned it, it does ring a bell. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, or I've heard of it. I've never used it. I wouldn't be able to say what it is therefore, but yeah, it does ring a bell now. Okay, we're getting close to... Oh, we forgot about this branch. And we forgot about the butterfly. I did. Let's try getting this fixed. Thank you, Jay. I'm glad you like the character. The characters kind of happen. I sometimes start just drawing from a couple of shapes, and well, not when I have something planned, of course, but sometimes when I just doodle, can end up being a naked lady or a dwarf. You never know. It's kind of funny. Okay, we're getting there. I'll try coloring it in very quickly with a method that I have shown in one of my previous videos. He has really small hands, actually. The way I drew them. Oh, that's cool. He's kind of cute. He likes butterflies. Thank you, Hugh. It's kind of funny because I do a lot of such doodles, and I would consider this kind of like my characteristic line work, but when I do like book illustrations, I rarely use this style. I somehow developed a completely different illustration style. I do not like this tangent here. I'm going to change it. A little bit. There you go. Sort of. Okay, so I'm gonna try. If you, I don't know if you've been looking or if you care, but the way I was working is I wasn't working like white and red. I was using red color as the line work, and I was, if if I didn't like a line, I would just erase it. So I didn't use any white color, which is what I really like to do, because later on I turn the sketch like any color I want, really, just by blocking the transparency, the alpha, and then I can just do anything I want. I'll show you how it works in a minute. Ugh, see, this is like, I'm trying to get a nice line a little bit thicker to get the outline of the tree to look nicer. Let's see. There you go, Mr. Tree. I'm not trying to be Bob Ross, but happy little tree. Okie dokes. So I'm gonna try, if I can. No, I'm gonna try doing it this as well. Might just as well do it right. Okay. So now I'm gonna stop or block the alpha so that I can if I were to use the brush, it's kind of a slightly modified brush that's a brush that's a default brush that you can use straight from Krita. I modified it a little bit, but it wasn't much really. So I normally just block alpha on this one, so that if I have an extra layer underneath, generally everything that's on top is going to show. But I'm going to use a black color and just turn it into a black sketch. For some reason I find it easier to block in a color different than black. Don't know what it is. Black is kind of like a final color, and so I usually just use a different color. All right, so using the same exact brush, I'll change this into a multiply mode, and I'm just gonna draw on the other layer underneath. Okay, let's start with his hair. Just gonna make it orange. This brush is really smooth. I really like using it for this purpose. Even if I'm going sometimes for a more detailed work, but I use a sketch, it's just so much easier than filling it in using a normal brush. I wonder if anyone else who's watching is using Krita on an everyday basis. Anyone? Or just me? Actually, I'm just going to go like this here. So he was saying that he used his Krita to go to painting program. You mean like a school that kind of a painting program. Yeah, so your main painting program. Okay, cool. I didn't understand. I was kind of wondering. Eek, that was a bad color choice. Not sure how much better this one is. Not entirely sure if his feet or hands should be the same color, but I I'm gonna just do it. Oops. It's a very quick way of filling in all the areas. I haven't really checked if the new version of Krita has the gimmick or gimmick. I think it's a gimmick option enabled again. I covered this in one of my videos, and then for a while they did not have it. I don't know what happened really. They just kind of stopped using it, or something happened to it. Don't know really. It was a really cool thing, and people kept asking me what happened to it. I was like, I don't know. I had it in my version when I was making the video, and it was a really cool option that allowed you to take the sketch and like kind of show the program where you wanted which color to go, and the program was smart enough to figure out um, which parts of your drawing, because like if you would take this sketch and used the fill in tool, it would just fill in certain areas, but some it would just not fill, or it would go outside because there would be like a gap between your lines. But the gimmick tool really very intuitively kind of discovered how to put, or where to put the um, colors, and it was really cool. I liked it. Blue pants? I don't know. Light blue pants? Let's try with light blue pants. I sometimes like to put certain colors on separate layers. That gives me a lot of flexibility because I can then, for example, take the layer and just completely change the whole color I technically can do it here too because I can just select by color, but it just takes more time. And also having colors on different layers lets me like add some gradients just to that particular part and color. How do I sample my colors in Krita? I just press Control. That's it. I'm pretty sure this is a standard shortcut that comes with Krita. And any shortcuts that you would like to change, for example, you can find them in Settings, Configure Krita, I think, and you can go to Keyboard Shortcuts, and then you can find all kinds of shortcuts and you can change them. It's really cool. Oh, so Hugh says that the new one has the gimmick one. Does it work though? Because I remember that there were a couple of versions of Krita where it didn't work. It was there, but it would just crash or it wouldn't do it. There were all kinds of problems with it. I have to put something on him. I'm gonna put a yellow shirt, t-shirt. It's kind of funny. He's wearing clothes. No, I don't like this yellow at all. Red. Yeah, too many colors. Oh, he looks kind of cute. Alright, so I'm going to create an extra layer underneath just for the tree. Lighter tree. And this way I don't have to care about... that's wrong. So I somehow ended up doing it upside down. Does anyone know, of those of you watching, of course, if there's like, I'm assuming you can't use music on top of your videos or during the stream. I don't know, I sometimes see people have some music in their streams, so I'm not sure, maybe those streams are then deleted or something, but I kind of find I'm being quiet, I don't mind, but I'm thinking if anyone comes in and sees the stream and me doodling, it will be an interesting thing for them because I'm just going to be quietly drawing. That one's just going to be a very, very flat doodle with flat colors. Not going to work on any shadows today. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Just add some blades of grass or something in the background. Not sure if I want to do the background. I'm kind of deliberating whether I want to do it. Let's try on again a separate layer. Well, that's a doodle, so I couldn't, I don't really care that much in terms of, it's just for fun. Don't want to say I don't care, but I do a lot of doodling every day. That's not good. Actually, it doesn't have to be. Who says these have to be inside the lines? Oh, so Hugh says that most painting videos in YouTube, they have dubstep, dubstep or EDM in their videos. True. Background. I really don't know if I need a background here. Kind of white seems too white, but I also... Let's do this. Let's leave it like that. Weird. Oh, I'm not very good at drawing happy little clouds. Not my thing, clearly. Should have added some leaves here, but kind of deliberately not keeping in the lines here. Kind of remember still from childhood those stickers or printed books where the colors would not kind of match, and it would look kind of funny. It still, you know, makes me feel good to think about them. It's something that was a mistake, but if you grew up with it, you kind of start treating it as something cool. Well, here is some bad planning on my part, because the tree kind of abruptly ends. You can pretend it's just a stump or something, or just crop it properly. Should we just crop it? No, not this. Where's the crop? Here's the crop. I'll have to crop it to here. Well, let's crop it to here. Bloop. Not sure if it's the best composition now. We can add a bit of a tree here, can't we? There you go. So, yeah. This is what the troll looks like at the moment. It's a very fast, well, not very fast, but like a simple doodle with very simple coloring in. I'll go check if the gimmick works later on. I didn't want it to crash on me right now while I'm streaming, but I'll see if it works, and if it works, maybe I'll use it next time if I stream again. So thank you everyone who watched. Thank you for being here, for asking questions, and helping me out by making me talk about stuff. And well, I'll try streaming every now and then. I don't know if I'm gonna make it into a stream that will be like a weekly or monthly or whatever stream. But I doodle a lot, so there are chances that I'm just gonna pop in to do some more doodling randomly. We'll see how it works. I'll just play it by ear. So thank you again, and have a good night, guys. Cheers.